All right. So I'm sure this will take a minute to catch up, but if you're watching the replay, welcome to our discussion of Sweep of the Heart by Ilona Andrews, which is very sad because it was our last one for a little while
I
in this
know.
series.
Yeah.
Tears.
And
I'm
tears.
still sad about it.
Yes, if you're here, say hello. Let us know if you've read the book. There will be spoilers.
Yeah. I don't know how we discuss book 6 without spoilers.
That's your 30-second warning.
Yeah.
Spoilers from here on out. We don't really do non-spoilery thoughts.
We really don't.
No. Yeah. No, at this point in the series, there's no non-spoiler thoughts, I feel.
No.
It's very true.
Yes. So basically this book is Bachelor the Space Edition held on Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked it.
Definitely. Hello. All right. Where do we want to start?
Space
Did
chickens.
anyone keep the contestants straight in their head?
No.
I realized
Absolutely not. I know the one that was like that reminded me of the word sugar. I think it was like Sir Car was from the Hope Crushing Horde, and that's all I got.
I realized I forgot to send you like all of these pages that had information about the characters.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
And the audiobook was very nice to put all of those at the very end of the book, like this book is over. And then here are the notes. And I'm like, I don't need them anymore, but thank you, book.
When I started saying that to me, I said, oh, this would have been helpful at the beginning.
Yeah.
We should have moved this forward.
Right?
I had to wait till they said something about their group, or even then, sometimes I didn't quite know who we were talking about.
Oh, I knew like the main, like I knew that Lady Westover,
Wexen.
whatever. Yeah. That she was from the Temple of Desire. But that was about it. And
I had trouble with her.
That's because a
Cookie.
Cookie.
The one I recognized the most was the one from the trees, because they would talk about the trees a lot. And I'm like, oh, okay. I recognize the tree thing.
Can I just say, I
love
like
the trees.
I so hope that we get to see her and her
The Hope
Horde warrior.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Me too. Shurkar. Sure.
I want to see what happens.
I keep thinking Sugar is his name, but it's not. It's like Shurkar or something.
What were you going to say, Steph, before you were going to look it up? Because you were going to say something and we just ran you over.
No, all good. Surkar.
That was close.
I'm not going to remember at all.
But which one was it? Okay, I love the trees, and I want to make a D&D character now based on the trees.
The
it's
evil,
like
horrible
just an
trees?
evil. You can be evil in D&D.
Yeah, I know.
I would make like a neutral evil tree type person and just
the big cat.
negotiate
the big cat as well.
or proposition. You give us this thing or we kill you. Discuss. And I was like, I love this so much.
Yeah, that was funny. I did like that.
I also liked the really big cat.
Yes, when she was like, I require attention. I was cracking up.
Not from the ruler, though.
Well, because she saw Dina petting her cat, and so she was like, what is that? What are you doing? And she's like, well, the cat wants attention. And she's like, locking that away in the mind vault for later. And then later came, and she was just like, attention.
Mm-hmm. I did like that the cat's name was Cyanide.
Yes. Cyanide is a good name.
That's a good name for the cat. I agree.
So yeah, I think we had the biggest cast of characters ever.
There were
and Gaston. Oh,
and everyone was new.
Yeah.
There was a good mix of new and old characters.
Yeah. Agreed. I think it was a nice mix, like overall, for who was there, but it still was like confusing. At least via audio.
I do love that Gaston and Cookie were back.
Yes.
Yes.
And the cop's wife, the reveal of who she was, cracked me up.
Who?
The cop's wife, Moreno.
Yes. That was the best part of the whole entire book.
That was so great. She just walks up and she's like, the lady from Costco. Oh no.
I have wanted her to come back since her scene. And this is perfection. Like the only humans that know about Dina are married to each other.
Yeah. It's kind of perfect.
It was great.
It was so good.
That entire scene was just
I really hope we get to see like a lot more of her in the future. I was cracked. I messaged the group chat, which Steph, had you already read that part when I messaged that? I don't know, but I was like, chapter 23 or something, sad reveal, and chapter 24 is the best reveal ever.
Yes.
I didn't understand your message because I was audiobooking, so like I didn't realize where I was.
Yeah.
Same.
No, the sad one was what's her face's backstory. Calvania.
Yeah.
And then the best reveal was Costco lady is Officer's wife.
Officer Reyes. His wife literally was just like, "This is a house. You said you were working. You're having an affair." And Dina's like, "I'm gonna help with this." And I'm like, "You should bring Sean to show that you are in fact not having an affair." That was what I was thinking in my head. And then she walks up, she's like, "The Costco lady," and I was like, "All was lost."
I agree. This is more people to keep track of than the pack.
And I didn't keep track of any of them.
No. all I knew were the ones that I thought were like politically important. I cannot tell you who the assassins were. I could not remember. I still don't know what group they're from.
It's like the one. I remember it's the one that did like the long philosophical discussion, right? Was it the one that did that? And the space chicken guy was like in love with him.
Yeah, that one was the paid assassin, but I can't remember I don't know what group he was like with.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Just like I don't remember the group the girl was
all
with.
I need to know is there were killer trees, assassins, and ridiculous activities that they all participated in. And there was someone in a fishbowl.
And true love.
I did love
so weird.
I did like the person in the fishbowl.
Yeah.
I found it both alarming and hilarious what the fishbowl person does when he is stressed.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It was kind of gross. And it
was gross, and I was just like, oh my god, why does this need to be written?
Yeah. I liked all of them.
Our quick warning right before the animal violence stuff. So that was deeply appreciated.
Yeah.
Because I felt prepared for what was about to happen. And then I liked how everyone reacted to it as well. And that was not cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Way. That was nice.
Caldinia's story was tragic.
I know.
I am happy though that like she got to see her nephew and her nephews, I guess, and niece.
Yeah.
And like there's no ill will, like they know the truth, so
Yeah.
It's not like they hate her or despise her. They're like, no, we understand like why you did what you did and we love you still. And it's just like, that's so sweet.
Yeah. And it adds words. Oh my gosh. It adds layers to sort of her character from what you think is a really simple characterization of an intergalactic.
Although I'm confused because they said that the nephew was in like his last decade of life, but Caldinia's like fine, and she's significantly older than him, obviously, because she's older than his dad.
They didn't say he was in his last decade of life.
Yeah, they did. That's why they were doing the spousal selection, because he needed to produce an heir. Because they said he had like a decade or two of life left.
It was the previous generation.
Dad.
It was his dad.
And his dad.
Yeah, they're talking about his dad.
Had a defect come back up from something.
Well, no, but because they said that he had to have like a special meal because older people.
That was the religious guy.
Oh,
yeah, that was the religious guy.
And
people. I was very confused.
He was lying.
Yeah. Yes, there was a genetic defect, but was he an advisor?
Yeah, he was like the
Yeah,
religious
he was like
advisor
a-
and also like, you know, a big part of the
like an advisor slash elder.
Oh. Okay, I was
Yeah, that's what it
confused.
was.
No, that was
No, you're fine. I was
that was
in
a
there when you
random
were
old
talking.
man.
I was just
Yeah.
like, there's too many people, and I got very confused.
Yeah, there were too many people. That's what I'm saying. Also, because there were so many people, and because we were so focused on the competition, I kind of really felt like everything to do with the inn, including Sean and Dina and Caldania and everyone we already knew, was kind of a side character in the story. It was like we were almost completely focused on all these people that not only have we not met before, but I could not tell you who they were, what they were doing the whole time.
Well, when The Bachelor ended and I saw there was like 45 minutes left in the book, and 10 minutes of that apparently ended up being character lists, I was like, really? Like, what happened to like the battle and finding the square wolf? And
but you know what's interesting? Like in this series, a lot of the big plot stuff happens in the last 30 minutes of every book.
Right.
Like it doesn't take up a massive part of the story. It's always the very last little bit, because it leads into the next story. So
we never know when it's coming now.
I know. But I did
like at some point we're going to get mostly overarching plot focus.
Also, George is a married man.
Yeah.
Love that.
And Sophie's working hard to stop him from being a workaholic. Good on her.
Which means that he went 100 hours without sleep because his deadline was approaching for his ability to work.
Yeah.
And I hope that they do at least like even a short story of Klaus, because he was mentioned in Maud's book and in this book.
I reckon he'll feature in a future book. I think he'll be a major side character.
It makes me think that they're not going to do like a whole book for him, but maybe like a story for him or something.
He won't get his own story, but I think he'll be a major part of a future story.
Just waiting for like a little
I don't think he would get a spin-off, but
I just think he'd get like a 5-page POV of some sort.
Yeah, he has to play into like them finding their parents.
Right.
There's only so much
capacity, right?
Yeah.
Well, and part of me thinks the reason he hasn't featured yet, even though he's been mentioned in a couple of books, but he hasn't featured in them, is probably because they're saving him for something, for a purpose.
Right.
I would think
Well, he showed up at Maud's.
That's
but you didn't see it.
But we didn't see it.
Well, it was like the last sentence.
Yeah.
Right.
So it'd probably be Maud's book we'd see him again. Like actually on page.
I thought you said Maud wasn't going to get another book.
This is what I think, okay? And I'm right, and y'all are wrong. So know that. We are not getting any books from any other side characters. But I'm convinced, it better be the next book. I'm convinced that we are going to have a book that is like completely focused on our group, including Claus and Maud and what's his face? Ardell, Astrodell, whatever. I know it starts with the A. There's an R and an L in there somewhere.
Arlen?
Yes.
The Ardell? What are we in Frozen?
This is exactly how
Aradell.
I work with words. I'm like, I know these 3 letters are in the word. Anyways, like I'm convinced we are going to follow them as a group, and probably a lot of our other recurring characters as well will be prominent in it, finding the parents or making progress toward the parents. Like we are going to have a book focused on our people. I'm sure of it.
So you think that's the next book?
I hope so.
Potentially.
Well, they open a doorway to a vampire home planet.
It's just like, we do have that sprout on there.
Wait, what was the door that they opened to? Because I thought it was the Hope Crushing Horde. Was I wrong?
No, it's the vampire home planet.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, they were like, and the door opens too, and I was like, that's the main person of the Hope Crushing Horde, right? And then like immediately it went into like the character list, and so I just completely.
But see, if linking the inn to a vampire home planet means that Maud and Arlen can come and go, essentially, as they please.
Which means more Helen.
Sense.
And even more specifically, Helen.
I love that.
And I wouldn't be surprised if
the girl. Sorry, what's the vampire lady that's friends with Maud?
That person.
Arlen's cousin.
Yeah, Arlen's cousin. I love that she was like, "These are for the cat," and she says to give you a hug and kiss. I do not know you, so I will not.
She was like, "I do not like touch humans" or something.
I do love that she was in this book.
She was great.
Sorry, spouse is being very nice and making us dinner while I'm on here.
Delightful person.
I know. That was wonderful.
Food is love.
Food is love.
Food is love.
Going back to the start of the book, the entire sequence with the Sphinx.
Yes, I was going to talk about that. I loved it.
I completely forgot that was even in this book.
I know. Well, it was right. It was all the way at the start of this ginormous book.
I read that at the end of May.
Having admittedly basically started this book yesterday, I very vividly remember.
I do.
Yeah.
I started it on Monday and I finished it this morning. So
I started it Tuesday. I got to like 30%, and then I got to like 60% last night. And then I just kind of like busted through the rest of it today.
Yeah,
work team.
But I love that. That's how they got the space chickens involved again. And the first scholar just comes in and schools the Sphinx.
He's like, "Give me your riddles," and he just starts like just rolling all of the answers off.
I was so happy when she was like, "Hold on a minute."
Yeah.
He comes back with the space chicken philosopher. I was like, yes.
I also I love that Sean had apparently just had to keep literally like batting him off with a stick. He's just like, I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you.
Yeah. I suppose it did in a way because you had two stories with one bookended by the other.
Mm-hmm.
And poor Wilmos. Poor Wilmos.
That was kind of the issue, I guess, with this book in a weird way. It felt like two stories on the end and then that middle story.
And I would not have thought to categorize it like that, but honestly, that's the perfect explanation. Like, that's the perfect way to describe this book.
And I don't hate that they did it, because I think if they pushed the other story together, it would have been too short.
Right.
It gave them a reason. But they're just very different stories. And so you spend the whole time going, okay, well, when are they actually going to get back to saving Wilmus?
Yeah. Right. But you couldn't save Wilmus a chapter later. Like, that wouldn't really.
No.
Yeah, it wouldn't build anything up. So it does make sense, but.
And I think it's clever. I don't know if I would accept it from many other authors.
Right.
Probably not.
But I'll totally buy it from Ilona Andrews.
Right. Plus, this is a thing that they do well, where each book does have its own thing. And I know that's common in a lot of series, but I feel like they do it particularly well, where each book does have its own thing that starts and gets solved in that book. But then you also have progress on the other stuff. Yeah. And they do a good job with it.
Isn't this series also made of like shorts from their website or like newsletter?
Well, it was released as a serial.
Yeah, that's it. So that's also probably why this one has like tiny story segments as well.
I kind of liked their little recaps that they kept.
Yeah, I loved the recaps. I thought those were fun.
The author's note said that it was voted to keep the recaps in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would have taken them out.
Yeah. But it was cute. I liked it.
I thought they summarized stuff really well. Just like when I came back to the book, if I had taken a break or that, so I could still follow.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's another thing that they're really good at. And I always noticed it with Kate Daniels, that even, like, I know for me, even if it had been like a couple years since I read the book before it, they did a really good job of telling me who, what, where. Yeah. And I didn't feel lost, you know?
Yeah.
They do a good job of recapping basically every single book without it being like
In your face.
30% of the book, and we still have no new information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
One of my favorite scenes in this book, and it just stuck with me, and I don't, because it bloody put this song in my head, is when they started singing "What Is Love" during.
Yes.
That
Space Chicken
was so
like,
funny.
their question, what is love? And Sean and
Dina
are
start
humming
humming
it,
it,
and then
and then
Tony
Tony
is like,
starts.
"Baby, don't hurt me."
Yeah, that was good.
I really liked that quad. It was like it was a fun team. Sean, Dina, Gaston, and Tony. That's
Cookie.
a fun group. And Cookie, occasionally Cookie. I love that. Cookie, you're turning into your uncle. What great praise! So cute.
He's the best.
I really did like how much we got on Caldania, though. I feel like of all the side characters, like I really appreciate just how much time they spent with her.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like we've been kind of waiting to find out more about her for a while now. So getting that info, I think, was really good.
Yeah. Definitely.
I also liked sort of leading into this, because they were all very, very sleep deprived during this book. Having Tony there as an extra backup person for the inn as well.
I love Tony.
Whereas previously it was just Dina, now it's Dina and Sean, but even with them, having someone there as a backup.
Yeah. I think I like Tony's one of my favorite characters, because there's just such a stark contrast between just like Tony the person and then Tony the ad hol.
Yeah.
So he's just like doopa doopa doo. Oh, look, food, cracking jokes. And then he has to be like, he's forced to be ad hol, and he's just like, I will end all of you. And I'm like,
he reminds me, I think, of a Grim Reaper character that I read somewhere, where they're only like the cold hand of death when they're on the job. And I don't even know like what
character. Like I've read this before.
I'm sure I've read like this specific thing, and it reminds me.
If anyone knows, tell us what book you think it is, please.
I feel like I've read this too, and now I'm like, what book was?
Y'all, let us know. I'm sure someone has to know what we're talking about.
Is it the Charlie Jane Anders series, maybe? No, that's not the author's name. That's a different book.
That doesn't ring any bells.
Because I was thinking of the Dorinda Jones series, but there's no serious. She's not serious. The main girl that has to like let people go to the other side. She's not a serious person.
No, but the one love interest in it, I felt like was kind of serious.
But he was always serious.
Yeah, I guess he was always. I didn't get that far, so.
I read the first, I think, 2 books in that series and then stopped. I've been thinking about picking it up again, but like I have other series I'd rather read. So
I think I stopped after 5 of them. So
yeah,
I made it some sort of way into that series.
I also like that Oro got some sous chefs.
Yes.
Dina had to get him out of the kitchen to bake Sean a cake.
I loved that.
That was such a cute scene.
They were like, oh, Caldania was in on it too, because she was like, oh, it's a good time for a nap, don't you think, Oro? And he's like, yes, I suppose. And then Dina like timed it exactly right. So good. That's true love. Food is true love.
Yeah,
it's true.
I just like that she was so paranoid about cooking in his kitchen now.
Yes. Well, she said it's because he like hovers, and I was like, I understand that. I hate when I'm doing something and someone is just like, and I'm like, oh my god, stop, please.
Well, we know he would be like, but why can't I make it?
Well, right. Like, are you sure you should be putting that much? I know it says a pinch, but like your pinch is maybe not enough of a pinch. Like I could see Oro doing stuff like that, and oh no, I wouldn't want to cook in his kitchen. It'd be awful.
But I did like his sous chefs.
Yeah. What was one of them was like a squirrel, right?
Yeah. Hang on.
Oh, Julie's comment makes sense too.
Roman from Kate.
Yes.
Someone tell me who's Roman?
The
Yes.
Oh, that's
priest.
the guy whose parents are the
Yeah.
He's the other one that we really
Russian
like because he's like
Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga's his
Yeah.
mom, right? Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Basically. Yes.
That was very deep in my memory for having been a series that I read last week.
I don't know. Izzy, have you read far enough in Kate Daniels to know who Roman is?
I don't know.
He has the parent staff.
You're in for a
right?
treat when you meet him.
Yeah, he has a staff.
He's
He's one.
I'm on like
Head
book
on
5.
it.
I'm on okay.
Oh,
So
yeah, you
I'm
should have
just
read it.
past Gunmetal Magic, and then like I need to read Gunmetal Magic.
Yeah, he'll have been in that
spinoff.
by now.
I was gonna say
But he's
we
probably
meet
not
him
been
somewhere in
in
the middle.
Yeah, I think you'll have seen him.
I probably have. It's been so long.
That's
I'm
fair.
waiting. I want more graphic audios because I would rather listen to those. I've decided then.
I want to buddy read graphic audios with you on that because I'm also waiting for more of the graphic audios to come out before I read.
So like when like 3 of them are out, we'll start.
Yes.
Is my plan.
Because I'll reread them.
Okay. I know you're not going to.
Roman does need
Heather,
his own
it's
book.
fine.
I mean, I'll read the ebook.
She'll discuss with us, but she's not gonna go.
That's
through
why we don't have to
audios.
make a new group chat. We can just keep it in our
Right,
present
right.
group
Yeah.
chat. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he would be in Gunmetal Magic.
The problem is everyone needs their own book.
Agreed.
Yes.
Everyone
needs
in
their
every
own
Kate
series.
Daniels series needs, or not Kate Daniels, Ilona Andrews series needs their own book.
I need to be in my 70s and 80s and still have Ilona Andrews books to read. Please.
Right.
Yeah.
Rereads are not enough.
I'm trying to think. I had a lot of laugh out loud moments and then a lot of like somber moments in this book. It was very
Yeah.
oof.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that. Dina did not end up comatose in this book.
That was very nice. I like how Dina also realized that her magic was getting stronger.
Mhm.
She was like, wait a second, I put out more magic than I did before this. I was like, that's cool.
Which definitely makes sense. Even if you look at Kate Daniels, her magic continues to get stronger. And, everything else too through the series, which you have to kind of one up your bad guy. And if you're barely winning each fight, in order to make it believable that this person's the most powerful that you've ever met, and you once again managed to win by the skin of your teeth, it does make sense that like you have to be getting better in some way.
Yeah.
I mean, we really see that. I felt like with the branch.
Right.
And how what she was able to do there. Like, I was like, oh. And I mean, also all the stuff she set up for the Bachelor competition. I was just like, oh, you have leveled up a lot.
Right.
More than I realized over the last few books.
Like, we definitely knew that a lot of it was just the inn needing guests and how, like, it had been barely making it the whole time, basically. But I think it's even more than that.
They certainly got their fair share of guests this time. Also, can we just talk about the assembly and the fact that they raised the inn's rating because they couldn't let it be held at a 2.5-star inn?
This is the second book where not only did we not see Maud and what's his name?
Arlen.
All I can think of right now is Anderell.
How can you forget Arlen?
I don't know.
He's my favorite vampire.
I know, he's the best. I'm tired, truthfully. This could be the entire reason. What was I even saying? Oh, this is our second book that we haven't seen them, but it's also our second book, I feel like, where I really feel like we're putting off a meeting with the assembly. And like
I'm so tired of the assembly.
The assembly is dodging so many meetings.
Her meeting,
rightfully so.
We're gonna have a dramatic
council,
scene.
didn't she?
She met with the council. She met
They
with
were
part
like-
of the assembly.
Because they were like, how dare you do this? We would have done this differently, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, excuse you. And then Tony was like, you question my judgment. And then finally one of the other council members, after Dina's like, shut up, to like the people, speaks up and is just like, someone said it. They're just jealous.
Right.
They're mad that they
Which is
passed up
true.
this opportunity and you did it so well. So they're grumpy.
Right.
Like, good. And then you said they were sour grapes.
What did y'all think of the guy in Scotland who decided that he's adopting her?
I loved that. I was cracking up, and my thought was like, well, if she loses this in, she has a backup.
True.
Well, at least other people are appreciating her now, like we know that she deserves.
This is true as well. I just thought it was so funny when they're like, if he contacts you, this hasn't been determined. This is your choice.
He's just going to make it sound like it has already been determined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they said, do you know who, whatever Sebastian North is? And they straight up lied to her and said, we don't know who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Of course they did. Why help people out?
But her parents are still alive.
This
is true too.
Because the bad guy, the consumption or whatever he's called, was like, your parents are still an issue, and you are now an issue. And I was like, oh, good, they're still alive. And Dina was like, oh, yay, they're still alive. And then she's like, isn't it kind of overkill for you to kill everybody in the entire world and all their ends?
Overkill?
But
I'm trying to think of what else I remember, because I also read this a long time ago.
They saved their werewolf, so that's good.
They did save their werewolf.
I did love the fishbowl moment with that contestant, and Sean is like, listen, I'm an alpha predator. It's fine. I got you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
she was just like, what are you doing to this poor being that is just peeing itself?
He's so stressed. He's like, I just wanted my minor ask. I didn't actually want to win. And it feels like now I'm the only one left. So
which, like, truthfully, that is like the most relatable thing to be like.
Actually,
an early elimination.
A number of contestants who just wanted their minor ask and didn't actually want to get married.
Yes,
was great.
Most of them. I loved that the votes for the first round came in, and they were like, wait, the fish is still in? And they were like, people found it entertaining that there is a fish person.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? That is such a thing that people would be like,
right.
You have to marry a fish. Yes.
Yeah.
In like the first round. I can see that. But I was thinking the fish guy, when I think he was debating the Otrikar about like what is the meaning of life or whatever, or how would you something a civilization, and he was like, war. And the fish was like, there's more to life than war and winning. And he's like, I feel so sad for you, and just started dancing in his little fishbowl, because he was just like, you live a very sad life, and I'm gonna dance for you because I don't know what else to do.
Yeah. Megan, I don't know if me and you were the only ones who were like, oh my god, video games. When Civilization, Stellaris, and all that came up, I was like,
when they first mentioned like way long ago that Caldenia played a video game and like they briefly described it, I'm like, oh, she's playing Civ.
That's I had the same moment. I was like, okay, she's playing Civ. And then like they started mentioning others, and I was like, this is so nerdy. Like I was like, how many? Again, I don't know how many people that read Ilona Andrews are gonna know like Stellaris and some of the other like Civ type building games. I was like, this feels so niche, and I love this.
I think I own both Civ and Stellaris.
I 100% own both. It's fine.
House loves them, so I've tried playing them with him, and I'm like, these are just not my jam. But like, I know that you love them. He has one where he has a spreadsheet. He has a separate Excel spreadsheet that he has like.
No. See, I put Civ on it. I just try to like conquer the world. It's fine. An audiobook. It's a good time.
I love it. I just play Sunhaven and Stardew Valley.
Yeah, I just was like, this is like Stellaris felt like a niche pull from like a couple years ago, and I was like, okay.
I think it's currently on sale for the Steam Summer Sale if anyone wants to play Stellaris.
go for it. I guess. I don't know. I couldn't get into it personally. I just like Civ. But yeah, I was just like, this is such a niche, weird little thing. And I know they both play games, so like I wasn't surprised by it, but I was just like, oh, this feels really just like very weirdly specific.
Just like the last one when they had the Peace Summit and they got the Hope Crushing Horde Madden on like Xbox, and then that was also funny. So like they've done a lot of like video game calls that I like for references.
Yeah.
And then the fact that it was decided by a video game for the final 3 was just amazing.
That was wonderful. I liked that a lot. And then other people who like you thought that they would win, and then like the points show that they didn't. I thought that was interesting. So it's like, what do you value?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it highlights how they are as people.
Yeah, I feel like the strategies showed a lot about their personalities, or like what their like beliefs were, I guess. Because one of them, the one who threw it, like he literally made all of his people happy, and was just like, we are insular, but we are happy and flourishing, and I'm still like, I know I'm not gonna win, but it's still like I'm playing it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool. Well, it the mirrors? Is that what they were called? The mirrors, the vampires that have already been ostracized. Yeah. Weren't they the ones that just like went full on war and their people were miserable?
Pretty much.
I think so. Yeah.
The best line was the girl who went, "I lost to a fish."
That was funny. She was the one who used slavery or something, I think.
Yeah. And the fish didn't. The fish was like, everyone's happy and joyous, but we're still spreading like our influence. I was just laughing when he said, "I lost to a fish."
They're very good at weaving in even just those pop culture references, like the video games and other bits of it. I cracked up laughing when Dina asked if he was going to start handing out roses to the winners.
Yes.
The absurdity of it all.
Yeah, there were some moments where I literally laughed out loud to myself, like in my car or while I was like working on stuff.
Same. I was giggling quite a bit when I listened to it. More than I usually do during books. I'm pretty just like flat while I'm reading, I feel like.
Yeah.
I giggled with the hair brushing with cyanide. I giggled at the I lost to a fish. I giggled at the what is love. That was also funny.
Yeah. When they were all talking through the inn, so it's Dina, Sean, Gaston, and Tony, and every time Dina and Sean are talking to each other and the other two butt in. So I'm like, that was funny.
I loved it. Like I said, I really liked that group. Like, if we just had some like buddy cop or like what is it, buddy surveillance team, Ocean's 9, whatever movie with them 4, I would love it.
I could totally picture Gaston and Tony going off and saving things.
Yes. Same. What was there a bear?
A bear?
They said that someone went off with like his friend was a bear, and I can't remember. I just remember that I think his name was like Greens or Peas or something, and he was a bear. If anyone remembers, I swear I'm not crazy. I just can't remember. It was like one of the contestants that lost was able to like leave with his friend the bear or something. I can't remember. It was just like a really weird sentence, and that's why I remembered it.
I don't know.
But I have no idea. I also don't know. I'm pretty sure I was walking through Target when I heard it, so I can remember like the location I was at. I just can't remember what it was referring to.
What if you were hallucinating in Target about bears?
Honestly, maybe. I don't know. I was just trying to find. They have tiny macaroons, and they were so good. Highly recommend Target
macaroons.
Target brand frozen macaroons because they're so good, and they have creme brulee that I can't wait to try. I'm trying it this weekend.
Nice.
I like food.
Food's the best.
Food is good. You like food?
I really liked that the ruler was manipulating the entire
that hurt my head.
for everyone to fall in love with the person that in love with, and she like didn't even know. Like she was just like, you know, we're not going to be together.
Yeah,
because I'm too competent, and that's the one thing that they cannot afford to have in their companion.
Yeah, that was
consort, and he was just like, ha.
That was actually really interesting that she was like, no, like I can't be it because you can't have someone who could be competition. And I was like,
right.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I just love he was like, I finally caught you, and I'm like, ah.
Cassandian is a really interesting character, actually.
Yeah.
To read about.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see them again.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I would feel like all of this work and all of this setup, it would be sad if we didn't.
Right.
Yeah, I think we'll see them again.
When we have this,
even if it's just briefly,
we almost always get more interactions.
I think they may come visit Caldinia more. Like she might be more involved with them because it was starting to show like how her isolation felt to her.
Right.
But even them just having a really powerful ally as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he became quite close with Dina.
Yeah.
And the group through this whole process.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I wouldn't be,
Yeah, when the y'all just said his name, I can't remember now. It started with a C. The Bachelor. When the Bachelor
Cassandian,
thank you.
I can't
did like his reveal of like I planned all of these things and here's how I knew that I was like, bro, I'm just not meant for politics because that hurt my head. Like, I'm not a good chess player.
It was a lot, yeah.
But also, we've had that kind of set up the whole series with Caldinia and the way that she plays it and how, like, they would both have to be that good.
Yeah, well, George too, and George was like, manipulating people. I'm like, I can't think that far ahead. Like, I'm terrible at chess. I don't play Civ well. I'm really bad at the like strategy stuff.
That's why I love having characters like that are smarter than us, but then like we get all the motivations explained, we get like the foreshadowing explained, we get, and it's like, oh, you are so smart because you explained it to me and I understand now.
Yeah.
I needed you to explain it to me, but that's okay because it's very smart.
Yes.
That really is one of my very favorite like types of characters to have.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Especially when they pull it off, you know? Like you have to have a real skill to write it, especially even leaving breadcrumbs, but not breadcrumbs that I knew what you were doing from chapter 1. And duh, like of course that's the big reveal. We've literally known that the entire book. You were not slick with it at all.
Yeah.
But no, I love when they do leave breadcrumbs and you're like, all these breadcrumbs make sense for that conclusion that you ended up giving us. But you in no way made it so blatantly obvious. That's my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think we've all read enough Ilona Andrews to know that they know how to plot those out and how to do the reveals in a way.
I think with them too, like I'm not left guessing. Like I don't try to strategize or solve because I'm just like, this is going to be told to me.
Yeah.
In the way that like I need it told to me versus like sometimes in books I am like, where's this going? You know, I'm doing the whole like.
Yeah. It's like a good mix of here's information and then here's a reveal with information that you didn't know in the first place. So you guess it. It's a good balance.
Yeah.
What do we think of the female werewolf? And what do we think we're going to see more of with her? Because I'm sure we will see something with her, and I'm just curious.
Daryl.
Who?
Her name's Daryl.
Yeah, her name's Daryl.
I only remember that because I'm like, that's a boy's name.
I don't remember.
I don't remember it either. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Her name is Daryl. Okay. I didn't know that there were werewolves who couldn't shift. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with the werewolves in general. Like, I found it really interesting that there were so many of them coming to find Sean because his mythos has grown.
Thanks to the proud grandpa.
Oh, yeah. sometimes Willis gets himself into trouble, doesn't he? Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised to see if there's some plot line that's trying to create sort of allyship between various groups,
right,
in the galaxy. But
I found it it was so heartbreaking, the scene where Dina sits Daryl down and is like, "You need to see this video," and it's of Sean when he was at Nexus.
Yeah,
and she just turns. She's like, "Why are you crying?" And Dina's like, "Because he had to give up so much to do this."
Yeah,
of himself. And I was like, partway through the book, I was thinking, I'm sad that Sean's character changed so much, because he used to be very, very, very sarcastic, and he's a lot more serious now later on. And so it makes sense, but I'm just like, it's tragic. It's really sad.
Yeah. He's more serious, but I think we're in this book we started to see him, some of that personality come back from the previous books.
Yeah.
Not as full.
They always do a good job of kind of talking about the price of combat and or just dealing with life and death every day.
I deeply appreciate the fact that as a duo, I don't know what her husband's name is,
Gordon.
but Gordon, okay, that he has prior military experience, because I think it's super reflected in the way in which the reality of war is discussed in all of her books.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always well done. It doesn't feel glorifying. It doesn't feel like a cavalier attitude, I guess.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because they do have so much conflict and so many battles and things in their books. So I feel like that could trip some people up, but they always do it well.
Yeah. They make it very real, in great wars or battles that they have, they kill people off that you really cared about. Is a way to show it wasn't thoughtless. It was just things have consequences. So,
yeah.
And then how people deal with the aftermath of that too. It's not just we killed them off and then we instantly forgot they ever existed.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of another series, but I don't want to spoil it for people who have
And also just you've definitely seen this with some of the side characters in this series and stuff, but also when you've experienced war, how much you're willing to sacrifice to avoid it.
Yeah. They did a lot of that in the fourth book, the Pact, the Peace Summit.
Yeah.
It's always good.
But even with the Cassandians race, they were willing to go to war over the outcome of. They were willing to start a civil war over the outcome of this competition.
Yeah. Well, I think that's also another thing, is that we know that a lot of times wars are fought for a specific group of people to maintain or gain power, and it's not really what's best for the people who are the military as a whole, or the civilians who are having their homes, destroyed and everything. It's not good for the country as a whole. It's for the power, and that's a very small subset of people, but they're the ones that are deciding we're going to war. And I don't know, I feel like that's almost always the reason, right? Because for war, especially if we're just talking humans, right? We're not talking about a warrior race of aliens, any of that. With humans, you have to, like, war is horrific, killing other people is horrific, all of that. So you have to convince them that that person on the other side deserves to die, that they are, less than or horrible or horrific or are going to slaughter your family, And you don't
and that's
that without propaganda.
Yep.
Oh yeah. And that's why there were so many sombering moments in this book.
Right.
Yeah. And then in the next chapter, there was the teenage Sphinx getting the slap down. It was a nice balance. I did like it went real deep and really serious, and then what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. It's like, so it was a nice like balance, I guess.
It was a much needed balance for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which again, they always do a good job of.
They do.
I'm just really sad that we don't know when we're getting the next one.
I know.
Yeah. Who knows?
I don't even know what the next book is or when the next book will come out.
Like, I'm hoping 2024.
Yeah.
Maybe we get the graphic audio soon and we could just re-listen to it then.
That's what I was just going to say. I'm really hoping we get the graphic audio so I can go back and listen to all of them again.
Yeah. Just marathon.
That'll be perfect. Instead of a 16-hour audiobook, it'll probably be about 10. So, or 8.
Heather's like, I will reread the ebook with y'all, and
I won't though.
That's fair.
She might for Kate, but she's probably not for these. It'll be too soon.
Wait and read the next book when or if it happens.
That's fair.
Listen, I respect the fact that they're like, we're not doing this like this anymore, but I'm also like, I hate you for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious to see if we see Sebastian North's cat getting involved with the fight against him. I think
apparently that cat's hundreds of years old.
It has to be some sort of purpose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The evil guys.
Yeah, I do kind of want that reveal was interesting, I thought as well.
Yeah. Because we knew that Sebastian North had something to do with it, but we definitely didn't know that Sebastian North was the corruption.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where they're going with the corruption's cat being their cat.
I think the cat is fine.
Oh yeah, I think he's fine too. I don't think he's evil or anything. I just want to see, like, I'm sure there's something that's going to happen, and I want to know what it is because I don't know what it would be.
I hope it's that the cat defeats Sebastian North.
That would be hilarious.
Would be
pretty funny.
It truly would.
Because the cat has chosen the side of good.
Right.
I do love that the house respects the cat.
Mm-hmm.
So the cat can just like walk through walls and stuff. I love that.
Yeah.
So what book series do y'all think is going to come out next?
We're going to get another Kate Daniels Wilmington years. In fact, I'm pretty sure they said that there was going to be another one this year.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
This is a good question.
I mean, didn't they say that like the cat, the corruption apparently is as old as Dina's father? Also, we figured out that Dina's father is at least hundreds of years old. Because didn't they say it was like the 1700s?
Yeah.
We already knew that. We knew he was from before cars.
We knew he was super old, but we didn't know how old.
We didn't know like how old.
We got more of a year range.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, well, they took my in away in the 1700s or something like that. Or I got that cat in the 1700s. And Dina was like, that's when my father was like X amount, whatever, alive. And I was like, her dad's from the 1700s? I'd be scared of cars too.
Right.
I'm wondering what race Dana's dad.
Oh, because he's called the Wanderer. I thought that was.
I know, but I want, because if he's as old as the corruption,
and he's a sorcerer,
and
a con artist.
So we know he's not human. So I'm wondering whether they're going to play a part. If there's many of them, or if they are simply sort of an offshoot of different races in this world.
Yeah,
and how that all that fits in, because it would then make sense that Dina's dad is part of the resolution of getting rid of the corruption as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just really curious to see, but who knows when we will get answers.
Yeah.
Which is the worst part.
But yes, if the cat is not a cat, well, that's okay, because Dina has a dog that's not a dog. So
I love the Shih Tzu monster breed. Well, but they said it was a breed of Shih Tzu. Yeah. But I can't remember like what they had said. They're like, oh yes, this blah 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 Shih Tzu breed, and I was like, that's hilarious that it is actually a Shih Tzu.
Yeah.
It's just a terrifying Shih Tzu.
Look, Dina has the best pets.
Mm-hmm.
She does.
She has the best pets. All right. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
If I had the book, I would have marked every single Sean Dina interaction because they were all adorable. Like when Dina got a cold and Sean immediately took her to the med bay and was just like, "Oh God, what illness do you have?" Just like the common cold.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
"Run down."
He's just like, "Rest, take these. You cannot do work. We will have someone else do work." I was like, "That's amazing." Just
also that reminds me. I don't know why it reminds me, but it does. Of the woman that pirate prince abused, getting her
yes, the lizard lady.
Yeah, that wasn't actually a lizard lady because it was augmented, because that was his preference, his feather.
Yeah. I do love that she beat the crap out of him.
Yeah.
That she murdered him so well.
She did. I wonder if we'll see her
very
again.
happy.
Maybe.
There was a lot of vengeance and justice done in this book, which I guess makes sense since the Temple of Desire person was the priestess of vengeance, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like multiple different, because the corruption, they talked about him getting his revenge. That's why he was killing all the Inns. The lizard lady was getting her revenge. And then there's like the Caldinia's, I guess, like justice was us seeing her in a new light. And then the sovereign and like getting his, because he literally hired her. So getting that vengeance.
Yeah.
I thought so. Just
that's a good point.
A nice theme for the book.
Your comment about marking all the relationship scenes, because I do mark relationship scenes in the book. And the first one I flipped to, because we talked about Sophie and George before, but she conquered an entire planet to convince him.
Yes.
To get him, yeah. Also, I love that. I just love how it fixes so many other problems. And I assume, I don't know for sure, but I assume that we must see more of their beginning of their romance, maybe
in the Edge.
The Edge series. No, because I mean, maybe they were just talking about them in the previous Innkeeper's book.
Well, George was a kid, I think, in the Edge series.
Yeah, he is in the first book. I don't know if that's true in book 4.
I haven't read any of them, so I don't know.
I know, I forget who it was, so I'm sorry if it's someone in the comments who did say this. But had we read the Edge series first, there were things in this book that link back to it.
Interesting.
So it'll be interesting. When we read through it, maybe we'll see what those were.
Yeah, I feel like those characters not just George. I feel like Sophie probably shows up in the Edge series. Maybe I'm wrong, but
George and his brother do for sure.
Well, yeah.
The shifter guy, who Dina's not a huge fan of. I can't remember his name. He didn't show up in this one. He was just mentioned.
The brother.
Yeah, because the brother is off doing something. Oh, he's off having like rest and relaxation in some like faraway place or something.
Yeah. So I suppose that would be a good place to say that is the next series that we're going to read.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, y'all, you're not done with us yet.
We're continuing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Jack, that's the name. Thank you.
Good theory, Heather. You're so smart.
Yes, so we will not have another live show until the end of August.
Correct.
At some point. Date to be confirmed, and I will probably do an announcement video on my channel.
Me too.
It will be in my August reset.
Yeah. I'll do a second.
I'll show up.
And we figure out what we're doing.
I'm just going to do a little bonus video. It'll probably be 4 minutes long.
Yeah, if I do one, it'll be a bonus.
I will never say that I will do a video because I will.
It's okay. We'll do it on your behalf.
Thank you. I'm just gonna like cut all of y'all's videos in this like weird, like you start a sentence and then Izzy finishes it or something, and then just like pop it onto my channel.
But really, Megan,
copyright infringement.
I'm not making money from it. It's fine. Fair use.
I was going to say
how fair use works.
I've only read the first book in the series, so
ooh,
I think these are the Ilona Andrews books that I haven't read.
Yeah,
exciting.
Yeah.
I know nothing about the series, so it's gonna be fun.
It is.
All I know is that George is
Bayou swamp people with magic.
Oh, does that mean we're gonna see Gaston
living in between the fairy world and our world? So they can go into fairy, or they can go to Walmart.
I love that.
You know, really that is a good way to explain Louisiana as someone who lived in the state of Louisiana.
That's what it is. It's magical Louisiana.
I love it.
I figured it was when you said swamp.
Yeah.
But that feels... I lived in the middle of nowhere, Louisiana, so that feels wildly accurate. You could go to the Walmart, or you could just kind of end up somewhere real weird and strange and on an adventure. Who knows?
And it's also very interesting because they have it set up where if you are too magical, you cannot go into our world. And if you do not have enough magic, you cannot go into fairy, basically.
Ooh.
So the people who live on the edge, hence the title name, are the group kind of in between where they can do both, but they are also kind of living in poverty. So
I remember that part of it.
Partially because they're looked down on by fairy, I think, basically. And I'm not even saying that it's like actually called fairy, but that's definitely how I think of it in my mind. And they don't have like birth certificates and stuff for our world. So it's very hard for them to get any sort of job that's not,
under the table.
a couple $100.
Yeah.
Isn't random tangent? Is the Molly Harper series also in Louisiana?
Yes.
It's very fun. Also feels accurate for Louisiana. I say that with all the love in the world. It's just a weird place that when you live there for a while, you're just like, this is a weird place.
Yeah. I do love that Molly Harper series.
It's a good series. If y'all haven't read it yet, you should. It's like, I think it's free on Audible Plus.
Or you can DNF it.
The audios are fun. I don't know how it is to read with your eyeballs, so
disrespectful.
Yeah,
that's true.
My eyeballs.
I listened to all of it.
Then I did the audio for the last lot.
I audiobooked them all, so it's like I can't attest to like how it is to read with your eyeballs. But Heather, you DNF everything. That's your like state of being.
I think the only thing I've read with my eyeballs recently is manga.
I have been eyeball reading lately, and it's been nice, but different. It's a different change from that you're reading.
I have a DNF wrap-up coming up on Saturday.
I'm very excited.
Books are in it?
Only 19.
Only 19.
I will.
So at the end of the year, you're gonna be at like 100.
I'm over.
Or are you over 100?
Yeah. Okay. I am over what I did in 2021 or 2022.
Good for you.
You are a hater. I also am a hater. It's fine.
I'm only
I hate covers. You hate books and DNF them constantly.
Also, Heather will like force herself to read books even if she's in a slump in the hopes that she will find something to get her out of her slump.
I'm a hater.
I do this as well.
Same.
So it's fine.
I was a different book real hard yesterday. Not yesterday, the 4th of July, when I had the flu.
Ugh.
I was channeling you, Heather, because I'm supposed to be filming a vlog. I think I have to give up on it because I DNF'd 2 books for the vlog in a row within about 30 minutes of each other.
I love this for you.
Wow.
And I'm questioning my life choices, so.
That's rough.
We'll talk off air. I was like, I have questions, but we'll talk off air.
I think I've talked to you about this vlog, Izzy, at some point. It was an idea I had, and it's backfiring.
Okay, I think I know what it is then. Okay. Okay, we'll talk about it off air. I don't want to spoil your potential scrapped video.
I think that I need to have a scrapped video at the end of the year if I can be bothered keeping the footage.
Yeah,
those are fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Should we wrap this up?
Yeah.
Any last thoughts? Thanks for joining us and reading alongside with us.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
It was.
And we hope that you join us for the Edge series because I think this will be really interesting.
Agreed.
Yeah. And as I'm sure you all can predict, if there is a release, we will have a live show within the couple weeks after it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether
we will try our best.
Or
so
2026, we'll be there.
I just feel like this
is
a
lot of promises.
We finish all the series, and then it's like, okay, well, here's a new book that we weren't expecting, so we're just going to add in an extra live show.
Yep.
And then we'll add in another live show.
It's fine.
However long.
Like, I know I haven't talked to y'all in 2 years, but there's a new Ilona Andrews book, so.
So when are we talking about it?
Yep.
Yes.
Resurrects the channel.
Me and Steph have been on 4 live shows in a week together.
Steph always does this during her vacations, though. Steph is like, I do a live show every single day of my vacation.
I know. And it's funny because I can't remember who I told anything, but I know Steph was there. no matter what conversation it was.
Y'all did a journaling live, and y'all did a World Hoppers or something, and then y'all did
We haven't done a journaling live for a bit.
Kate Daniels, A to Z, World Hoppers, Innkeepers.
Gotcha.
We did.
Look, World Hoppers forced me to actually reconsider all of my choices and not pick 50 million books for different answers to questions.
Right. Yeah. I had to.
Yeah, I'm working on my mid-year notes, and I'm like, crap.
This was useful because my one on my channel was chaotic. The one on World Hoppers was chaotic, but at least I had organized my thoughts this time.
Yeah.
I'm filming it in the morning.
I'm working on the sock.
The sock's really cool.
Thank you. I'm so happy. This is the farthest I've ever gotten in a sock. I even have like a heel. I'm so excited right now.
It's awesome.
Wouldn't be alive without Megan making something crafty.
It's true.
All right, everyone. We will end this here. I hope everyone has a good night or a good day, depending on where you are.
Yeah.
And we will see you probably sometime in the end of August.
Unless another book drops.
Unless another book drops.
Well, we've got.
I think we're safe for this month.
I think we're safe for a little while.
I think.
All right. See you later, guys.
At least a month and a half before.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.